In the well-fed state, insulin rise in the plasma can reverse the effects on the phosphorylation status of specific enzymes by activating a phosphoprotein phosphatase, which will remove specific phosphates from serine and threonine residues that were previously added by protein kinase A or pKa in the fasting state. This effect of insulin on protein dephosphorylation is a consequence of the insulin receptor initiating a cascade of events intracellularly that activate a phosphoprotein phosphatase. So in principle, phosphoprotein phosphatases, by removing specific phosphates, can also have remarkable effects on enzyme activity. As an example, dephosphorylation of the enzyme glycogen synthase will activate the enzyme and increase glycogen synthesis or glycogenesis. On the other hand, dephosphorylation of hormone-sensitive lipase responsible for lipolysis of triacylglycerol in adipose tissue results in the inhibition of that enzyme and the inhibition of lipolysis. Through a cascade of post-receptor events, insulin activates a phosphoprotein phosphatase of 5 key enzymes and activates them. Dephosphorylation of glycogen synthase activates the enzyme and increases glycogenesis. Dephosphorylation of PFK2 and pyruvate kinase will activate glycolysis. Dephosphorylation of HMG-CoA reductase, the rate-limiting enzyme in cholesterol biosynthesis, will activate cholesterol synthesis. And dephosphorylation of acetyl-CoA carboxylase will activate fatty acid synthesis in the liver as well. Through a cascade of post-receptor events, insulin inhibits 3 enzymes by promoting their dephosphorylation. Those 3 enzymes are fructose bisphosphatase 2, glycogen phosphorylase, and hormone-sensitive lipase. Inhibition of fructose bisphosphatase allows the accumulation of fructose 2,6-bisphosphate required for activation of glycolysis and PFK1. Dephosphorylation of glycogen phosphorylase inhibits it and inhibits glycogenolysis. Dephosphorylation of hormone-sensitive lipase inhibits lipolysis of stored triacylglycerols in adipose tissue. Collectively, the effect of insulin on the 8 previously mentioned enzymes will result in the following: activation of glycolysis, activation of glycogenesis, activation of fatty acid synthesis, activation of triacylglycerol synthesis, and activation of cholesterol synthesis. Simultaneously, insulin will inhibit gluconeogenesis. It will also inhibit glycogenolysis. It will inhibit lipolysis of stored triacylglycerol. And in general, insulin will activate protein synthesis and will inhibit protein degradation. It is noteworthy that insulin binding to the receptor activates the intrinsic tyrosine kinase activity of the receptor, which autophosphorylates itself on specific tyrosine residues and phosphorylates other cellular proteins on tyrosine residues. Thus, the activation of the tyrosine kinase activity of the insulin receptor starts a cascade of intracellular events that lead to the activation of a phosphoprotein phosphatase that is specific for dephosphorylating proteins and enzymes on phosphoserine and phosphothreonine. It is important to realize that the activation of a phosphoprotein phosphatase is the consequence of a cascade of events initiated by the activation of the tyrosine kinase activity of the insulin receptor. If you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you.